television. Once again, it's your boy Kier, the critic.
And your bestie, Bunny Stewart.
And today in the studio, we got a real special guest for us. We have actor, stuntman. He does a whole host of things. He'll tell us all about it. Mr. Gary Turner. How you doing today, Gary?
I'm well. Thank you for having me on your show.
Hey, man. Thanks for being here, man.
Well, I didn't even know why you wanted me on the show. Actually, I'm like, me?
That's what we're going to talk about, man. We're going to find out more about Gary, you know?
Okay.
So let's get right into it, man.
Sure.
So how did you get involved in acting and stunt work?
Well, with acting, I could say I never would have thought that would have came into my life, honestly.
You didn't come from a strong acting background or nothing like that? Or?
Heck no. Outside of, turning the TV down and making voices, for emulating the voices for folks and whatnot on TV, I would do that. But, my dad thought I was weird, so, that didn't pan out. And but it was actually how my journey actually started. Back in October 2012, I was on the Dr. Phil show. Okay. And the show was called Fat Attack, so you could look it up. And it was for my mother, because my mother was a big woman, and I did to support her, because, the show was called Fat Attack, and it was about, family, friends, and loved ones detrimental to your dieting.
For sure.
And so my dad was kind of, verbally abusive a little bit, and blah, 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 blah.
I'm so sorry.
They wanted somebody that, would be in support. So
Right.
I was like, okay, I'll go. Eventually. And once I did that, man, long story short, they started like 3 days prior to flying us out there, getting me on the phone and making all these, hey, what about this? And, talking about this and sending me pictures, and I'm like, oh my God, and they keep talking.
And that show's not scripted or nothing like that. It was just legit, because I know a lot of those
Yo,
talk shows.
I'm glad you asked me, because
Yeah.
I was going to throw nobody under the bus. But what it is they set you aside and they talk to you about it.
Right.
Everything is on set.
Right.
And they'll talk to you about it, and they're like, I like what you said, but can you kind of like? And I was like, I'm not gonna have you tell me what to say.
Right. This is from
I
my
will walk
work.
off
Right,
set. You're
right.
not gonna sugarcoat nothing, because I love my mother. We're here to help her.
Right.
And anyway, long story short, these guys kept telling me, oh, you're so funny and blah blah blah, and I'm like, dude, I'm not a joke teller. I don't know what you're talking about. You're just so original. Everyone just can't wait to hear what's coming out your mouth next. And I'm like, yo, man, me too. And anyway, I just kept saying that, and then finally, when we were on set, I was like, yo, why don't you guys hook me up with Saturday Night Live, and I'll credit y'all for discovering me. And they're like, oh, no, we can't do that. And I'm like, oh, director, huh? Okay, sure.
Right.
And anyway, actually on the limo ride home, this director, Prince Vaughn was his name. I don't care if I name drop. And he gave me a number and a name, and it led me to a Pepsi commercial.
Okay.
And I learned what a cattle call was, because I showed up. There was like 200-300 people. I'm like, I ain't waiting in this line.
Right.
I'm not getting no cheese at the end.
Right.
And so I ended up waiting.
So you waited anyway.
I waited anyway. If it wasn't for my wife, I wouldn't have waited.
Right.
Because I was like, nope, I'm not waiting. That's too long. And she's like, yeah, well, you said you were going to give it a shot.
Right.
And so I did. I ended up hanging out for a while, and I was one of the last 10 people there, and then they told me, no, you don't have the body type that they're looking for, but you might want to call these people. I think they'd be interested.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, okay, maybe there's something happening.
Right.
I didn't know, but I was like, I'm going to ride with this. Let's see what happens, right? If I didn't, I don't think I could ever live that down,
Yeah,
right?
you always got to just put yourself out there and see what happens, right?
So-
Because you'll always be wondering.
Right?
Yep,
Yeah.
that's right.
So this number led me to, it was, I guess they called it an episodic, right? And they were putting some series in the can. And I went to this casting, and they casted me to be an understudy. I didn't know what that meant, and I said, hey, I'm not going under any tables, so whatever else you need.
Right.
And so that happened, and then something happened to the dude, and they ended up, hey, Gary, we need you to come out here. And I'm like, oh, crap, what? Yo, I go from a construction site to here, bro, I don't know. And so I did that, and I needed to get riled up and stuff, and I did all that, and I pushed the table. And he's like, "Hey, who told you to do that table?" And I was like, "Nobody." He's like, "That's what I want." Everybody, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, my point being that led me to, I think the best thing out of that one is, I believe y'all know him, I met John DeMarcus there.
Right.
on
Okay.
this
Yeah.
set. Right? And I still got
Good
shout
friend
out
of mine,
John.
Yeah. No, good guy.
Awesome guy. And but anyway, that didn't pan out for me because I ended up walking away because I had met, Robert Parham and him and we would slowly talk because I didn't know, like, I didn't want anybody, hey, is this dude, what do you want? What are you trying to get? Right. And it kind of, one thing leads to another with it. And Bunny, as you know, like anybody in the industry would know.
Yeah, once you get that connection, that first spark, it kind of, the domino effect, right?
Yeah, and
man.
since then, I know that you've been a star in Cocaine Roach, Mad as Hell, and I saw some other credits as well. One's coming up. Tell us about that, just a little bit.
Cocaine Roach is what's coming out now. The next one we have on tap for Mayhem Films, it'll be Bullets, Blades, and Blood.
Okay.
So stay tuned, y'all.
Yeah, I just saw a post from Robert today about that, saying
Yep.
that they're doing some I guess some post-credit work and things
Yep,
of that nature.
and
Yeah.
that one's about done. And then I know they're taking off we're going to take off into Mosquito. And
I love it.
and you're actually gonna
Cocaine
check
Roach, Mosquito.
Mosquito. Yeah, it sounds gimmicky, but just like Cocaine Roach, it's not about all the roaches. There's actually a story behind it,
For sure.
which is super cool.
Right.
And the same thing with Mosquito. Y'all are gonna see some acting chops out of me, right?
Okay.
You're gonna really find out how I am because Robert told me that we're really gonna find out about your acting chops here, Gary. We're gonna tap in deep into you and pull you out. I want to see some tears, and I'm like, hey, bro.
Oh my goodness.
So
Good stuff,
stay
man.
tuned, y'all. Stay
Yeah,
tuned.
you're already a scene stealer, so I can't wait to see you in Mama Don't Take No Mess.
Stop. I know
He
you're
is a
gonna.
scene stealer.
You
well,
are.
I'm
I'm gonna be.
looking
Bunny's gonna be in Mama Don't Take No Mess with us.
Yeah. Well, that should
I
be a
can't
good one.
wait.
I can't wait to see that one either.
I can't wait to share
can't
the
wait.
screen with her finally.
Oh my gosh, so much love to you, Gary.
Same to you,
Thank
Bunny.
you so much.
So if anybody wants to get a hold of you, they want you in their next project, film, commercial, what have you, what's the best way they can reach you?
My phone number.
You don't want to give out your phone number. I mean, online,
No,
socials,
online.
or
Well,
anything,
I'm
or-
not really huge on social media. You
Okay.
know, I'm not any kind of presence whatsoever. But Facebook is the only one I really mess with.
Okay.
Because I don't. It's just kind of not my thing.
Right.
Maybe one day you'll see me way out there, but I don't know.
Right.
There's so much, and there's so many other networks to get on. It's like,
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
so
100%.
Facebook is the one, as you
Okay.
guys know, the one I'm really with.
Okay.
Gary L. Turner.
That's
And
all you need.
You see the face.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Well, Gary, I thank you for being on the show, man. Greatly appreciate it. I'm sure we're going to see you in April around festival time. So,
Oh, yeah, I'll be
yeah,
there.
Yeah, so
I'll
got
be
some
there.
projects you're going to be in as well. So,
Yes.
the best dressed guy in the room, man.
Stop
He
it.
came
Stop
in
it.
suited
Right.
and booted
So
with a-
fly.
yeah, he came
Stop
in,
it.
man.
That was
Yeah.
a rental.
Well, it still look good on you, man. You look good, man.
Thank
Well, I
you so
thank
much.
Hey, well, I thank you for being on the show, man.
All right, thank you for having me. And if I may, I'd like to leave everybody with, with two things. Remember this. Anything on this planet is possible. Anything. Except dividing by 2. Or dividing by 0. I said 2. Oh, crap. And the other thing, y'all, stay positive, but test negative.
That's it.
Gosh, Gary.
There you go. There you go.